Well, I've been avoiding this one like the plague for a couple of weeks. Anything, geez, how did I didn't know Stihl made a convertible model of the MS200. Let's put this thing back together. Let's suffice it to say that I'll probably have more time invested in cleaning than part swapping here. Boy, it's just not as glamorous as it looks on TV. Yeah, AV's crushed and broken. Filter base is broken. Filter cover's broken. Top handle's screwed. And this should get us there. I think I'm gonna have to look around for a filter base. I don't know if I ordered one of those. I didn't realize. I should have noticed by the condition of the air filter cover that this might have been compromised. Now, I know you've already said, why in the hell would you bother fixing this? And the customer and I had a discussion about this, and I said, you're looking at a substantial amount of money in new parts to put Humpty Dumpty back together again. Well, the MS200's got a huge fan base, and this is a living testament to it. So let's clean this ugly turd up and get it running. God, I'm ashamed to say this. These are all my climbing saw carcasses and a few other things. But, you know, there's a box here and a box there. And there's no air filter base. Oh, that's horrible. I'm throwing all this crap away. Okay, enough of that. All this is cleaned up. We got good usable parts. Upon inspecting this air filter, she's toast. No worries. Got a stack of nice parts here. Got a top handle assembly. Stihl is nice enough to not include the side handle, which you kind of have to disassemble some of the linkage for to get to the screw that holds this on. So let me peel that off and then we'll slap this back together. And we can at least test run it with the old filter base. And I've got a new one on the way. Okay, so easy peasy. All you gotta do is take the 4 screws out, pull the side cover off, and the choke lever doohickey. Pull this out, and then you insert the screw, tighten it up to the side post. And you know, these are relatively simple. There always seem to be a head buster. This is the only tricky one right here. That's your choke lever, and it's a little counterintuitive that needs to go down first. And then this linkage here, or this arm, has to go on top of it. So it's not too terribly intimidating, but if you've got something to look at, it makes it a whole lot easier. Because usually when those come apart, they go twang. All right, so I've got the broken filter base on there just so I can tighten the carburetor down to the intake boot. But, you know, I mean, we're a lot better off than we were just a little while ago. I've had multiple requests over the years, when I started doing YouTube. Oh man, I'd love for you to work on my saw. Obviously, this is a lot more time consuming. You know, we got several hours of time involved in between cleaning and swapping out parts and making sure that everything fits and works. You know, you take this saw to a dealership and they're gonna say, you need a new one. You know, a lot of the saws that I work on, and unfortunately, you know, it puts my backlog farther and farther behind, so I can't accept any more outside work. I appreciate the offers, and occasionally if somebody's nearby, you know, I can definitely help them out. But, you know, this kind of thing happens. This saw got run over by a skid steer. So, you know, at least the gas tank wasn't broken. You know, the top handle's really not that big a deal. Wasn't horribly expensive. I want to say we got almost $200 worth of parts here to get Humpty Dumpty back together again. So let's take it outside, pull the cord, just make sure it runs. This was obviously a running saw when it got run over, and everything looked good when I was putting it back together. So let's take it outside, we'll do that, and then we'll just wrap this up. Okay, I have not done anything. This is our first look. You know, I probably should grab a screwdriver, but you know, we'll see. Okay, so I threw a little bit of compressed air in this little hole right here, which goes to the metering diaphragm, and it's enough to push down on the metering diaphragm and lift. You know, sometimes the needle gets stuck. So I took it outside and I pumped it, or pulled it like 4 times, and it popped off. So let's go finish this and make sure she runs right. All right, take 2. Strange. Okay, well, thanks for coming along with me. It actually gives me a little bit, like I said, this has been on the back burner. He's already paid for all the repairs on this. I threw him an estimate at it, and just, you know, he was here picking up some other saws. I didn't want to do this. Having y'all with me so we can kind of go through the process, it's good therapy for me. But anyway, that's all I got for you today. I'll see you on the next one.